Welcome back to 5 Acres Honey Farm. I'm Tara Lynn, and I originally had plans for this video to be what the first week of spring was like at both of my apiaries. However, things have just been a little nuts, and this is actually the first month of spring, and this is filmed between, if you're new to following, and I know I've got a bunch of new followers, between my main apiary in Pittsboro, North Carolina, and where I am now near Bryson City, North Carolina, so that's west of Asheville. And since I first started recording what was happening this spring, I'm now up to 14 hives, and I was a little snarky on social media. I did offer hives for sale for the first time this spring because so many people reached out last year and over the winter asking for hives, and I had never offered hives for sale until this spring, and no one bought any. So I did have a few folks interested, but they backed out at the last minute. They were concerned that one person was concerned because I only run mediums, and they had deep equipment, and they were brand new to beekeeping, so they didn't really understand that you can transition between different sizes. And then some other folks had already reserved packages, and they forgot that I was going to have some for sale. So in any case, I am very much enjoying the genetics that have been surviving for many years, both out here and out in Pittsboro. One of the themes that's been popping up lately is complaining. So I have another complaint, and you can kind of see this is my newest hive. I just did a split a few moments ago, but you'll see I've got some duct tape right along that back corner of the hive. And one of my latest complaints is I try to support all of the local bee shops. And one of my complaints was that they are far away. They're not like, I can't just like jump out and go, a few minutes up the road and go get bee supplies, because the one closest to me usually is sold out of anything, especially this time of the year. So I had supported a bee supplies shop within an hour and a half of home, and brand new bottom board, and it's warped. And so I have to put tape there because I've got it, the box, the bottom board, keeping the bottom board level, putting a box on with the warp, there's a huge gap so bees can come in and out both sides. So I have to think about if I'm gonna just toss that bottom board. What a waste of money, because now they're over $20 each. Or I don't know, I've got to figure out how I could modify it possibly. But between that and then also there's also the same shop, and I don't want to share who or whatever, but I needed beetle guards for the entrance reducers here. We repurposed entrance reducers with the beetle guards, so there's like an extra hole on the top, so you don't want water getting in and bees getting in and beetles. So you have to like really shove them in, and the one that I just put on from that shop was too long. So fortunately my husband's got tools out here, and he was able to shorten it to the appropriate size. But it's just really frustrating when I have to drive so far to get equipment and then it doesn't meet my needs and causes other problems. So that's kind of how spring has started, is there's lots of hives, lots of problems with equipment, and also a lot of honey. So I've got a ton of honey coming in the Piedmont and the Pittsboro area. This is Queen Jade's hive. She has not only halves capped honey, but in 1 week, these were frames with foundation. So her little gals drew out all the comb, filled it up, and have been capping. And I just split her, so now I will not lose her. Here, it is very, very slow to start. I'm very surprised. Been going for walks, and I see the poplar blossoms are just opening. But like these two hives here closest to me, there's like maybe 3 cells of nectar in them, and they're laying like crazy. There's brood emerging like crazy. I don't know if they're just consuming nectar as it's coming in and there's just not enough to store yet, but I fed them the last time I was here, just one day, and I'm going to feed them while I'm out here as well, because there's just so much brood and I don't see any food in there, so I don't know how they're managing like this, as great as they're doing. I'm going to complain again. As I complained in my last video, my current complaints is that I can't find the supplies that I need locally, and it's raining out, so I apologize for the sound. But I can't find the supplies that I need, and I really want to support the local stores, but they don't have everything that I need. So I ordered from a very renowned beekeeping supply company. I'm not going to say their name or anything, but I specifically ordered extra equipment that I don't really need right now. Plus, I had asked my mentor if he needs anything, so that way I could get free shipping. And everything except the inner covers that I wanted, here they are, with the little oval. Everything arrived except these inner covers. And the packing slip said that it included everything, but the box was too small to even fit inner covers. And now I reached out to them. They did email me back early this morning saying that another package was out for delivery. I'm curious, I didn't check the label to see like if they mailed it after my email from last week, but the inner covers have arrived. These are actually masonite inner covers. I'm gonna flip this around so you can take a peek at it. I'm not really too familiar with masonite, but masonite, different, feels kind of like it's some kind of a composite. I did Google it before I ordered, but it's not like firm. Like it's pretty loose in here. It's almost as if this is just the outer bits are serving as a frame. Excuse any garbage. We've got, if you didn't notice any garbage in the periphery, we need to go to the dump. So it also has these like little slots in here, which are, you can't really see, but they are see-through. And I don't really care for that. So I did order 5 because I wanted to get the free shipping discount, and I also, of course I just dropped this. I also, you know, I've got now 11 hives. 1 I have split already, so I still need to split 9 more most likely in the coming weeks. So I'm gonna need some more inner covers. And since I can't get these oval ones locally and I really wanna use those adapters, this is what I'm left with. So I don't like these little slots in here because this is home for a small hive beetle. And because you can see like how there's extra edges around here, this gap, small hive beetles can hang out in there. So I feel like this is just gonna introduce more problems for me. So I'm gonna go put them in the freezer, and then I'm gonna decide if perhaps I offer them for sale locally and someone else can use them. I'm really torn, but let me know what you think. This is the beautiful road on the way to my mentor's house, so we're gonna look in his hives as well. I gave him my Layens hive after I failed at getting it started last year. And he already has it established, and it's filling out really beautifully. He also attached a deep and a medium to make a conversion hive, and this is allowing him to share resources between the Layens and this hive. I'm back out in the mountains, and I finally finished setting up my extended apiary area. So the fence used to end right here at the corner of the shed, and now this whole space with the new hive stands is all available for new hives and didn't cost me anything. Everything's repurposed. The fencing was used for the pigs when I raised them, and these materials were already here from the previous owners. This kind of perspective of how this is extended. So this is now where, if I do splits, I could fit a few more hives along here, another one right here, and girls are bringing in, some pollen. Lots of pollen pants coming in here as well. And I went to the Smoky Mountain Beekeepers meeting this week, and a lot of folks were saying after the rain we just had that the poplar are going to open this week, but I don't know, there's such a varying in bloom time around this area because of elevation differences. I'm gonna get them closed up now. Don't need to attract anybody. Rob them out. And I went for a walk in the woods yesterday, and most of the poplar, just gotta use my other hand for a second, they're not even really leafed out yet. So clean this little entrance off here. So I'm not expecting, this is really interesting. She's got all different color pollen on her. I've never seen that before. So just to make sure they have, get this lined up, enough to keep them kind of held over until things start to open. But like this particular hive, I didn't really have a drop of nectar in it at all. There's plenty of eggs. It hasn't slowed her down from laying. It's just no nectar. And this one was really low. They actually all were very low, but I only have 2 feeders out here, so this is the decision I had to make, is that this one's pretty much the strongest one, and I'm gonna let them do their thing. Overall, the first month of spring has been highly productive. It may look a little hazy out here. There are some wildfires in the area, so the air quality is pretty poor. Where we are, it's not impacting the bee forage, but I imagine those smells in the air must somehow impact their communication. I'm just assuming that must be the case, but I don't know. Hoping to give an update on honey and other things shortly, but for now, this was the first month of spring in North Carolina with the bees.